Friends, Cowboy Joe Boo here with the Joe Boo Report. Sean Payton just had a press conference about him wanting to stay in New Orleans. Now, is this really meaning that he will be in New Orleans, or is this really a plea to say, I really want to stay? Because the team could still trade him. Let's go to the tape.
Well, NFL Live begins with the future of Saints head coach Sean Payton perhaps being cleared up. Got a couple of years left on his contract. He's been the most successful coach in franchise history, but the Saints have missed the playoffs the last few years, and speculation is, or was, he could be available if the team was willing to make a trade for him. Payton tried to kibosh that today.
I understand the interest and certainly the skepticism, if you will, but this is where I plan on coaching. And I don't envision myself ever coaching for any other club. I would share with you today, man, I'm just as excited and to some degree just as nervous, but looking forward to where we're going. And I don't take for granted 1 minute the leadership that sits over me and has confidence in me. This is really me saying again, and here I am, and nothing's changing, and I plan on finishing my career here. I think Zach Strief said it best last week. I'll be here as long as they'll have me. We're not there yet. We've really got to do a good job with the upcoming draft and in the upcoming off season with personnel.
All right, as we continue here on NFL Live, welcome in Ryan Clark, the bus Jerome Bettis, and the coach, Herm Edwards here as well. Interesting parsing of words there, and this is what everybody's going to do. He wants to be there. It is his desire to be there, but at the end of the day, he can be traded, Herm, as you were once traded.
How about that?
So, I mean, it's great that he wants to be there, but that doesn't mean he eventually will be there. What do we think about what Sean was saying here?
Well, I mean, he's wearing his emotions on his sleeve. I mean, he's been there for 10 years. He's really developed this team, developed the program. He is the coach of the New Orleans Saints. When you say the New Orleans Saints, first thing that comes out of his mouth, Sean Payton and Drew Brees.
Came together.
Yeah, that's how it works. So I think he's at a point in his career now where he was fortunate to get a really gifted quarterback, built this program on his back, and I think every coach wants challenges. His next challenge now is to try to rework this football team, right?
Stop giving up touchdown passes.
Well,
would be a good one.
That could be an issue.
Everyone on defense.
46, a new record by 6.
The fact that he had to speak means that he's on notice.
Sure. Right.
So he has to understand that now you have to produce. We went through all of this and said, you are our head coach, but understand there was smoke behind that. And now if he does what he did last year, I think now he's on the road.
I grew up in New Orleans. Dome Patrol,
right?
Bobby Hebert, Dolphin here, Ruben Mays,
John Forcade,
all of that, right? Sean Payton is New Orleans Saints football to people in New Orleans. He came, it was Katrina, and this team brought the city back, and they did so much. They won the Super Bowl, and so much of that, like Coach said about the emotion, is tied into him being the coach of the New Orleans Saints. But on the field, he has to do better. They have to find a way to play defense. We know Sean Payton teams are always going to score.
Yes.
But he has to win games. And like Jerome said, he's on notice.
Yeah.
Now we know there could be an exiting. You could be gone. There could be a trade. You could be fired. He needs to do better. And you can tell by his press conference, he knows that.
Yeah, he's not just the emotional leader. I mean, if you look at the numbers specifically, in the 39 years before Sean Payton and Drew Brees got there, the team won one playoff game in 39 years.
They were really happy with that one.
Exactly. But since they got there, the 10 years that Payton and Brees have been there, they have 6 playoff wins, including Super Bowl 44. So we'll see how this all plays out. For more on this, let's bring in a couple of our insiders, Adam Kaplan and, of course, Joe Banner, who has been through these situations before. Guys, what are we talking about here? What did you take away from the nuances, if you will? Clearly, Sean Payton wants to be there, but again, that doesn't mean he's going to be there.
That's the point. First of all, he has 2 years left. You saw Adam Schefter's tweet where it said that the Saints are not going to make him available at this time. I looked at 2 texts I got during Sean Payton's press conference, which people are questioning, does he still want to be there? Or does he have to be there because he's got 2 years left? I'm not totally convinced that he will finish out the 2 years, but I would say this. I do believe what Coach Payton said. It is what it is right now. He wants to be there, and he also did say later in the press conference he wants to finish his career there, but what people say and what happens sometimes are two different things. We shall see.
Let's remember something. He has $17 million left on his contract as reported. So Sean isn't going to resign. He's not going to come on TV and say that, he's done. So, we got to look at this and listen to those words. It just didn't feel real to me. I didn't feel like what he was feeling, what he was thinking, and the words coming out of his mouth were matching. As somebody who's done a lot of negotiations, if I was Mickey Loomis and I was trying to move him and the offer I was getting right now wasn't adequate, I would have something like this out there to make the teams feel like you better do more or we're going to keep him.
Step up if you want him.
Maybe skepticism, maybe some insight, time will tell. But I didn't feel like what we were seeing was the whole story there.
Well, Adam and Joe, you guys have been around this business long enough. It is important and probably smart to enter a lot of these things with a healthy dose of skepticism. We'll see how it all plays out, but Sean Payton clearly saying he wants to stay with the New Orleans Saints. Guys, thanks very much.
As they say, money talks. And just remember, friends, Jerry Jones was in New Orleans yesterday. I'm Cowboy Joe Boo. Be sure to click subscribe so that way you can get more of the Joe Boo Report. And hold on tight, friends. I don't think we've heard the end of this story.